Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. I want to take this opportunity to talk about looking for a new job. Now, looking for a new job within this economy is not easy at all, especially for the millennials out there, i.e. aged 18 to 36. You've come out of university, you've been told that your degree or your master's or your PhD is really going to be the thing that sets you apart from the crowd, but yet you find it so difficult to find a job. Why is this? Well, it's not that your degree or your master's or your PhD is not valuable, of course it is. But within the marketplace, based on everything that's happening right now, it's very important that you show the right sort of value to the employers. You need to be able to have the right sort of experience and sell yourself in a way that you are definitely the candidate for the job. Now, if you think about how we apply for jobs, there are mainly two main ways that I'm used to anyway. The first one is looking for a job and applying via application, and the second way is using an agency. Now, if we look at me and look at my experience as an example, I have predominantly used agencies to allow me to find work, and through my due diligence and my value, so to speak, I've been able to secure jobs at a permanent position and move up the ladder within the corporate world. That's what's worked for me. Now, usually what happens is, I remember a situation anyway, at least a year ago, where I had no money whatsoever and I was in a very dire situation. And the only thing I could do was call every single agency within South London. And that's exactly what I did. I called every single agency within South London because even though I had businesses on the side, they weren't really raking in the money that I required at the time because I was still at grassroots and still at foundations. So I needed to find a main source of income quickly. Now, some may argue, you could have worked harder at your business, but I knew deep down that I couldn't do anything about that situation that would create bigger cash flow for me. Now, I called every single agency. I asked them if there were any sort of vacancies or jobs within project management or anything to do with commissioning or anything to do with some sort of project administration, because I realized what my level was. So when I did produce my CV, I had a summary that basically displayed two skills that I had, what experience I'm looking for, what experience I had, and what sort of value I can give to the workplace. In addition to this, I made sure that I separated my relevant experience and I had my generic experience. So for me, my relevant experience was my project management skills, and that really highlighted what sort of value I can provide for these different project management industries or jobs that I was looking at. Now, if we look at the process of applying for a job, if you go onto a job ad site, the best thing I did to understand the market and the need at that time was to look at every single job within a specific pay bracket. And I looked at project management roles, I looked at business roles, I looked at engineering roles, I looked at roles within healthcare, I looked at roles within finance, I looked at roles within HR. Everything that was within a certain pay bracket, I looked and checked the criteria for every single job. And you must be thinking, wow, that really took a long time, but it allowed me to understand and be tailored towards that market. So I knew how I could present myself and position myself for the best sort of jobs. Once I went through all 2,000 jobs, for example, I was able to make a decision and hone down which ones were specific to me. I was able to filter the criteria in a much more defined way. Because when you get to the next step, you'll realize that you can't necessarily just use CVs to help you get a job. It does work, but it may be a bit slow and not necessarily in your control. You're going to have to write a really solid supporting statement or cover letter that allows you to sell yourself. Now, a question you may ask is, what do you write in this cover letter or supporting statement? Well, before you do that, you need to make sure that you do avid research on the companies that you're looking for. And this does take a long time. If you're aiming within a specific industry, let's say healthcare, which is my thing, then it's a bit easier because you can understand maybe the policies, the laws, the legislations, the documents and specifications that really hit the mark when you're applying for different jobs within that industry. So usually what I'd do, I'd look at a specific job within healthcare. Let's say it was a commissioning role, and I would read their job spec to make sure that I tick every single box. Now, usually for these job roles that are quite similar, you're usually going to tick these job roles anyway, because you have to have an understanding of what themes and things they're looking for. So for project management, they need someone who's due diligent, someone who's a great facilitator, someone who's good at Prince 2 or Lean Six Sigma, or all of these different methodologies that are very useful for pushing through and driving projects, someone who's a completer and a finisher, someone who's a solution finder, someone who has very strong administration skills, someone who's very good at stakeholder engagement and holding events, somebody who's not afraid to start from nothing and end up with results, making sure that there is strong evaluation and review at the end of it. Now, it may not be branded this way, but this is what the job spec will enable you to understand. Once I understand the job spec, once I understand the key definable deliverables or skills that they're looking for, I make sure that I put that in my statement. So in the first paragraph, what I may do is talk about why I want the job and exactly why I think I'm the best candidate. The second thing I'll do is list specifically per skill why I really fulfill that skill. So for example, if I'm talking about my ability to be good at Excel, I'll give examples of how I've developed systems and reporting templates on Excel that shows my robustness and qualities within using those skills. So you're doing that per skill. Now, if you have a word limit, I would choose what you think are the most relevant skills that really highlight how you demonstrate those skills. Another approach you could have is really talk about your past experience and talk about what you did, what responsibilities you had, and what you learned from those different opportunities and how it links in with the role that you're actually trying to apply for. And at the end, you need to make sure that you highlight what your hobbies are, and I'm talking about real hobbies, not rubbish hobbies that make you boring or anything, but genuine hobbies that highlight or show that you have an interest for something. For example, for me, I showed that I did volunteering for the St. Vincent de Paul Society that helps those who are impoverished and suffer from different forms of poverty, whether it be social, financial, physical, etc. I also talked about my ability to public speak. I love to give motivational talks, and I give those different talks at different events, whether it is for a big organizations or smaller organizations. I also talked about my ability to love reading, actually. You know, I'm an avid reader and I have a focus on psychology management and leadership. Because it's not a bad thing to say that you like reading. It shows that you have these interpersonal skills or these leadership skills that they're looking for. And at the end, talk about, again, why you think you are the best candidate for this role and how your statement proves this as well. It's very important that you understand this. That process is long, but the first time you produce this and you get a tangible cover letter or supporting statement, you can use that as a template and get out what I call variable words that you can replace with other words when you're applying for other stuff. So don't make it difficult. Just make sure you actually spend some time and scour the market, understand what skills that they require from their ideal candidate, write your cover letter, make it no more than 1,500 words, which is usually the case, but check your word limit, and use that as a template. And of course, be sensible and change things when necessary. Pick certain days when you're going to apply for jobs. You know, some people do it every single day, but you need to decide what is relevant for you. You can't do this half-hearted. This is a full-time thing. Looking for a job is full-time. Sometimes the market is fresh, sometimes the market isn't. If it's not fresh, see where you can find ways to improve your skills. Is there a course you can go on? Could you teach yourself, Excel or different Microsoft Office applications? How do you present leadership and management skills? How are you going to present that? So it's very important to make sure you brand yourself in the right way. And I would also say more and more recruiters are using LinkedIn, so use it to your advantage. Make sure that you fill in every single section. Have a nice clean picture. Make sure you have a really good header that describes what you're about and what your industry is about. Make sure you have a good explanation as to what you do in each job role. So talk about, different things you've achieved, your roles and responsibilities, what those outcomes were. It's very important to be succinct and straight to the point. And every time you are associating yourself with a company, make sure that you have what I call the small company icon or logo that displays that company. when you think about it, when people go onto LinkedIn, they want to see something that's full. They want to see a fresh picture. They want to see color as well. They want to make sure that this person looks like they're doing things. Like this person looks like they're actually achieving things. And when they get past the visuals of it, they can actually read your statements and be like, wow, this person is fantastic. I need this person. In this year alone, I've had 20 different engagements of people trying to recruit me for different commissioning roles. But because I know what my plan is, I haven't taken those roles. So LinkedIn is a great opportunity to find different job roles and really put yourself out there for people to actually be drawn towards you. You don't want to be in a position where you're asking for jobs X, Y, and Z. You want people to come to you. So that's how you create value in making sure that you get a job role. Now, all of these things I've just splurted out, I hope they've been useful to you. And just to summarize, make sure that you scour the market, you understand what key skills that you need, you make sure that you use those key skills and put them into your cover letter in your supporting statement or your CV. In addition, make sure your LinkedIn is completely full with fresh pictures and recommendations as well. I would definitely make sure that you get recommendations. And finally, don't be afraid to add people within your industry. You want to network, you want to be broader than what you are now. And again, visuals are everything. You're not trying to trick people. You're trying to capture people straight away. So when they pass the first barrier, the second barrier is where they can really see and read your experience. So I hope this has brought value to you. Take care, God bless, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to check out more information with regards to work and how you can apply for different things, please feel free to check out my website at www.michaeltabaradi, that's Tango Alpha Bravo Eagle Romeo Alpha Delta Echo.com. Take care and God bless. Peace.